Meisha, I'm like Jesus Christ on the cross. It's all about it's just all about persecution and absorbing the persecution. It's like what he did is kind of like how I wait 10 hours for you on your makeup, or I tolerate your messy room.
Then why don't you go fuck Jesus Christ?
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love.
Who knew that this asshole was going to make me feel bad for Megan Fox News or whatever woman?
I felt bad for her last week.
Poor Meisha.
And y'all, don't come at us about who she follows. I could have told you
We
that.
know who she follows, yeah.
I
I don't
could've-
really feel sorry for her when I think about who she follows, but still.
But I could have. I don't wish this man on anyone, though.
That I don't. Agreed. He's gross.
Even more than that, this man.
I absorb Christ.
This man needs to. This man has feelings like no one else has. This
Okay.
man has special feelings that
I
we
thought
need
you were
to
gonna
be.
say something inappropriate.
No, this man has feelings that need to be respected because no one else's feelings ever met, except for Riley's. Maybe they can both go to the men's rights conference together. You'll see Nicola and Riley both speaking at your local men's rights conference. Because men matter more today than ever, and they're just not getting their due.
This is reality gaze. This is reality gaze.
I'm still worried that someone's going to think I'm not being satirical.
They know.
I worry about it every time I say it.
Someone's going to message you. Y'all, this is reality gaze. My name's Maddie.
And I'm Poodle.
Say it so people
And
can...
I'm Poodle!
Thank you. A.K.A. Jake Anthony. Lives on Stonebriar Lane.
Stonebriar. That's the country club I used to frequent with my third husband.
The address is 1569.
6969.
Y'all, this is your part 2 of Before the 90 Days of season 6, episode 8. I don't think we have a name.
Misunderstood.
Oh, we do.
I should have said that. Misunderstood. I had to look up this movie. I did not know what it was because they're all movie names this season.
Ah.
You didn't know that?
I
guess we haven't really talked about it.
No, we haven't.
Fatal Attraction.
Oh, yep. Misunderstood. What's this movie about?
I
Is it like Babel? That's
No,
not about the
it's
Tower of Babel.
What did we get into? It was out United UK.
I think it's UK.
And you thought that movie with Brad Pitt was a biblical telling of the biblical story.
It's called Babel.
I think that movie would have been one note because it's just people who, like, they gave the Tower of Babel, and then God said, now we're going to make it that you can't understand each other, all the different languages.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the explanation for why people speak different languages because of sin.
Wouldn't
have
been a problem if they were all gay men because they all still would have fucked anyway. Everybody would have gotten along.
You don't need to speak the same language.
Let there be peace on earth and let it
Anyway, Misunderstood.
What's that movie about?
That is a Gene Hackman movie. I had to look this
I
up.
love Genie.
It's Gene Hackman. I don't know who's ever called that. Gene Hackman raising 2 children in Tunisia, where his job is.
Oh.
And because his wife has died, and
Oh.
the children are having different kind of a time. They're having a time.
Okay.
Henry, what's his name? The one who played Elliot in
Oh yeah,
E.T..
Henry Ford.
That's not his name.
Henry Linkletter.
That's the Nazi who invented the assembly line. Henry Thomas.
Henry
Thomas.
Henry Thomas.
Thank you.
So the plot line is just him living life with 2 sons.
I think it's more complicated
No,
than that.
I actually enjoy that. It's like, I feel like in the 70s and even 60s, films were amazing, but if you read the synopsis, it wasn't.
The scope wasn't huge.
It wasn't what we have now.
Right.
Like I watched, it was a while ago. What's that movie with what's his name and the blonde woman who's on Sophie's Choice? Meryl Streep.
Again,
Dustin Hoffman.
That blind woman who's on what's Sophie's Choice is not Meryl Streep.
I didn't say what's her name.
That's true.
But Dustin Hoffman.
Kramer versus Kramer?
Kramer. What's that movie about? Just people getting
Divorce.
divorced. That's it. It was great.
That's the log line. That was the pitch.
That was the pitch. What's this movie about, Harold? Just divorce. Okay, great. Sell it.
Well, it's kind of like Marriage Story, the Adam Driver,
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. What's that movie about? 2 people breaking up.
That's it. I appreciate movies like that.
Everyone else, not everyone else, but a lot of people I know, they're like, oh, I hated that movie. It was so bleak. It was rough. I'm like, I thought it was actually interesting how these 2 people, even through a horrible breakup of a marriage, found some type of way. It was an interesting look at it.
Yeah. Why are you looking above me up
I
at
don't
the
know.
ceiling? Don't you give me another moth.
I went,
Which, by the way, y'all, if you're wondering, if you're listening, you're going, we're reminding you where your intimate portrait is. I'm still recovering from surgery, so the doctor gave me a month. So
I had to
in
take
August.
Pepto to look at him.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's going to be another
Right
week.
now. Yeah, my eyes are still taped open. I can't blink.
Actually, he has a hideous sty beneath
I do
his,
from putting
his
cream
eye.
on my eyes so I don't get an infection. So
I can see its heart beating.
it is. So anyway, you'll get the video in August for the intimate
Hopefully.
portraits. Hopefully, if I'm not ready to show
I'll
my
be-
face,
I'll be
I'm
the
not-
judge.
If I'm not ready, I won't do it.
I'll just have to get someone else.
Fine by me. Just get an actual Muppet and I'll move
I
its
wonder
mouth.
if Christina could put a picture of like Clarabelle the clown on your face.
Okay.
Anyway, we listen to the announcements on the first show.
We've got it coming at you. 90 Day UK is going to 1 episode a week this week, so you're not going to get Raw Dog with 3 episodes. Love During Lockup, y'all. It's wonderful. Check it out. You get it. You got it on the public feed last week.
For 1 episode.
A try before you buy. If you're interested in that, you can subscribe at the $8 the whole enchilada tier on RG Plus, which is available on Apple subscriptions, Patreon, or Supercast.
For those of you who are asking, where, Carl, the gays, where's my below deck? Well, you can thank the 90 Day Fiancé producers who've decided to raw dog us in every hole.
Which we normally enjoy. Which,
I
you know
know.
what? I actually...
Even my urethra.
Yeah, they're just...
They're sounding.
Sounding. That's what it's called. Gross.
Someone's going to look up sounding.
Don't do it at work. But I will say, they are... Usually I enjoy a raw dogging in every orifice. And this is enjoyable because all the content is very good
I agree.
right now.
I don't want it to wear on us, but so that's one of the reasons. And they notified us, or we found out they would be dropping 2 episodes like they did for the end of Below Deck Sailing Yacht. And y'all, we're just not having any part of it. It's too much content.
It's too much.
I
gotta be honest. I feel like sometimes too Below Deck. I enjoy watching that show sometimes more than
I
recapping.
think I enjoy it more than recapping it. I
like
enjoy,
watching it a lot.
I enjoy Med much more because of
'cause
Sandy's.
Sandy makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better. It's a better recap. But even OG this season was tough. But we had Sandy.
Yeah. Oh no, I enjoyed that season. I enjoyed. Yeah. Maybe we'll just do the Sandy seasons. We'll see. Or we might not do any more at all. Or maybe we'll do Winter House with Alex.
How about we have a planning meeting?
We can do Winter House now that Alex is on it. He's probably shirtless.
And Malia and Katie.
Katie.
Katie
wow.
Floody.
Wow. We're not going to watch Winter House.
No.
No.
That's just who fucks who.
Who's fucking who?
Quid pro ho.
Quid pro ho.
A bunch of quid pro
I think I
hoes.
might make a T-shirt of that. I might contact them. I think our link works for merch, does it? I don't even
Yes!
know. Just Google Reality Gaze merch.
I
You'll
put it
find
up 3 times. God damn it.
We want to remind everybody that our interview with She Pivots aired. You should check that out. Your By Curious options are up. Be sure
Your
to
poll
vote.
is up on
still up,
Supercast.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Or is it
up
done
on-
now?
No, it should be up until probably Wednesday.
Okay. So check that out. Our YouTube Live is going to be on July 30th
Yes.
for the people at the $15 tier.
That's Sunday at
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Pacific time.
Pacific.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Eastern.
I think that's it. That's all we got. Let's do it.
11 p.m. Greenwich Meridian time.
You can't
We have
do that
UK
now that you're
sissies.
now that you're We do. But now that you're traveling, you're going to think you're all worldly. I saw you're taking another trip to Monterey.
I'm worldly like Meisha.
You are.
How'd you know I was going to Monterey?
Because you sent it to our email at our business account. So now I'm getting all these emails about Monterey. I'm like, I don't care about this shit. No, it was beautiful. You have to go to the aquarium. If you do anything in Monterey, you've got to go to the aquarium.
We might just stay in there and fuck.
Well, you can actually in the
In the aquarium?
In the room where they're all the best room is the jellyfish. It's dark.
Oh.
So it's real dark. Y'all could just go in a corner and
Perfect.
just fuck to some jellyfish. And then they're going.
That's even a little too kinky for me.
Anyway, I have been before. You want some recommendations?
No.
You always offer to me when I don't ask.
You know what? I would like some recommendations, and then I can reject or accept them.
Okay. There
I
you go.
preferred that. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I'll be interested to think what you think of Carmel. Now, I can tell you where to go if you want to see where Doris Day lived. That's a drive, but I did it.
Maybe that's why the relationship.
I think that was the end. I don't think my ex wasn't really into that. Yeah. Yeah. Probably didn't.
Didn't help.
Yeah.
Didn't help.
If your boyfriend's not excited about seeing Doris stay with you, her house, then he's the wrong one.
Anyway, can you stop
Gino
moving
and
things
Jasmine
around?
might be celebrating a break. I'm just getting comfortable. I can't.
No, all I see.
I don't
was
think
cords.
your air conditioning is working very well today. It's very stuffy in here.
I turned it down.
Well, I'm still hot.
You want me to turn it on more?
No, it's fine.
I want to make sure you're comfortable.
No, I'm fine. I don't want to get too cold and then need a blanket. I'll just suffer through it.
Good. You're like Christ on the cross.
I am just like Nicola. I'll absorb it all. God, I hate that guy.
Can you imagine? Oh, I despise him.
I mean,
Can
below
you-
hate.
Can you imagine if someone said that to you? I would have laughed in his face.
I would have said, then go fuck Christ. I would have said that to him. And I don't mean to be sacrilegious, y'all. I'm not trying to be inflammatory. But it did, like, we'll talk about him.
Go home, Meisha. Go home. Yeah, get to do things with your daughters. Get a good trophy husband. You're pretty.
You are. You're pretty and honest. It's if you don't think about who she follows, she seems like a decent person.
The thing about them is I've already kind of written her off as someone I should kind of really care about. He's an absolute troll monster.
Oh.
He's horrible.
Horrible.
He's one of the worst men we've ever had. Again, that's a real rogues gallery. But
Well, it's the thing of the religion.
He's
I think people use religion in two ways: either to feel deeper or to feel nothing. And she actually, I think, wants to use Catholicism to enrich her life, to feel deep, to make connections. And he just wants to push everything down and avoid it and not really experience people.
right. And
just demand.
and be rewarded for following a strict code while everyone else does whatever the fuck they want to do and they're going to burn in hell.
He's just a robot and not a human.
Yep, I agree.
Anyway. But they weren't first. First, we're going to be talking about Gino Gino, you have to go to therapy,
Jasmine.
Gino.
Did you say their title card? This was so dramatic. Jasmine's kind of like flucking around, like looking like she's annoyed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was so good. They're going to couples therapy, you
Weird
guys.
outfits.
And I wrote down, well, now we know where the inventory of FAO Schwartz went. In this therapist's office.
I knew that was going to bother you and not realize it's for children, clearly.
I get it. But there were shelves and shelves and shelves of toys.
You have a lot of toys if you're a children's therapist. You do have a lot of toys. I've been to therapists. You have a lot. It did look like a very lot, but
So you're saying this is normal?
I felt like it was fine. But more was interested in is when it seems like she probably works a lot with children. So why is she doing couples therapy with Gino and Jasmine? Because usually people specify.
So I need to
It was
follow
a lot
this
of toys
up.
though, but it didn't bother me. But I'm just used to it.
I wrote down, wow, that's a lot of toys. I can see a basket.
Yes.
How many toys do children need?
Well, I guess hers need a lot. Maybe she's probably very involved in play therapy.
This, I'm sorry, I have to take issue with this.
It didn't bother me.
I guarantee you I'm not the only person who went, what the fuck is up with the toys?
Well,
I assumed she was like you. I assumed she was a children's therapist. I assumed
yes,
that.
that's it. Maybe it's some sissies that are children's therapists. Wait, send us pictures of how many toys do you have in your office?
And you know what?
I don't mean that to prove you wrong. I mean to possibly prove you right.
I accept 4 to 5 shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Not
It was a lot.
like we're talking Library of Congress style.
Yeah, but think about it. If you were
shelves.
doing therapy on a kid like you, you'd walk in and there'd be a basket of toys, and you'd say,
You know,
"This isn't
do you have anything more?
You would ask for so many specific toys
No,
that
you know
therapist
what?
would go broke.
You know what?
What?
I would say I'm going to take what I'm given and deal with that because that's what I need to do. Because
Little Poodle would have said that.
I wouldn't expect to have the inventory of FAO Schwartz in my therapist's office.
All right, but I think in the Little Poodle book, I think Little Poodle goes to the therapist and wants more toys.
If you're a children's
That's a good
therapist,
story.
I need to know the actual number of toys you have in your office.
Send us a message
This
or put a
looked
group thing in the Facebook
500
group.
to 600 toys.
There was a lot of little figurines.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe she does
And-
collect. I don't know.
It's that I could not stare at anything else.
If she's not a children's therapist, then it's crazy. Then it's fucking crazy. Full stop.
All I kept saying is, but the whole
I
time
knew it would bother you.
I was like, but why would you have that many? Like it becomes just inefficient after a while.
She actually, I feel like, is probably one of the best therapists we've seen on 90 Day
I agree.
Fiancé.
She
was
said
great.
She said so many things that were wonderful, but all I could think of is, did you need to have every Pokemon?
Well, if a kid likes a Pokemon, I mean, think about it. What if your therapist only had half of the Thundercats?
I'm just saying for a space.
Didn't have
for a,
Eeyore Cat or whatever they're
what
called.
What if she had to move into a smaller office?
Well, then you make the hard decisions.
I just feel it's not practical.
You need more information. You do. I do too. Because now you got me wondering if she doesn't see children.
My head went immediately there, but I still went, but that's still a lot. And the camera kept panning out, and it was blurred in the background, but you could just see like a long, long shelf.
I liked it. I thought there was a lot of
toys.
figurines, and I thought, oh, you could really have it like identifying kind of archetypes for kids.
Yeah, you kind of made it weird.
Well, y'all, this woman's name is Patricia. Patricia, the family
Patricia.
counselor. Patricia. And so they get in there, and Gino, Jasmine starts, and
Gino's like, Jasmine makes hurtful comments to me, and she recently told me that she's been seeing her ex-boyfriend socially, and he's moved into his building, and he's rapid fire. He is basically, this is how you can tell Gino is holding back so much that he wants to say.
He is holding back.
And Jasmine, it's interesting. These people can't talk to one another because Jasmine says, and I just want more intimacy. I'm not satisfied sexually.
I need Gino in my Bunani.
And he basically says, he's made comments about my private parts. He was gagging. Do you believe that?
No.
I think that's just...
I don't believe that. I don't believe, because Gino says, not that I believe Gino is a truthful person, but he says, I was not gagging.
It felt too far.
No.
Do you think that Jasmine thought...
You made me feel ugly and rejected, Gino.
Do you think that Jasmine thought that they would walk in there and the therapist would agree with her?
100%.
Yeah.
As I've said before, every time I'm in the room, they think I was going to agree with one of them.
I don't
That's
know.
what they want.
I don't think Gino did.
I don't think Gino knew what to expect.
Yeah.
But that's 100% Jasmine thought it's a woman. This woman's going to see that he, because she even people do this sometimes in therapy, and sometimes it's helpful. But I will sometimes, when people come in and they start talking like almost they're therapizing themselves, and talking about I have abandonment issues because
my father left.
I kind of go, okay, unless they've had therapy before, that's different. But sometimes it makes me go, okay, this person might not be coming from a place of curiosity of
they
self,
want to be right,
but they want to be just validated. Yep. And for her, I'm sick of Jasmine saying that because she keeps saying that she gets triggered and it's so hurtful.
Then do some work on it.
Do some work on it. You know, the awareness.
And that's why when Gino said, I just want her, I actually listened to him when he said, I just want her to know that she needs to work on things as well.
Yeah. It really is. It's Gino. It's dealt with so much of Jasmine not compromising on anything.
Yeah.
He's finally like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to withhold the pee-pee.
And has he been rude to her and cruel sometimes? Yes.
Yeah, he showed the nudes.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And it's just though both of them Jasmine is what she does is much more kind of playing from both sides and covertly trying to hurt his feelings.
Yes.
But anyway,
she's almost trying to trap him always.
Yeah. The therapist says that vengeance feeling that you have, Jasmine, that's not going to go well. And Gino's like, she said to Gino, you can't make the other person change their behavior. Focus on yourself.
No, well, she also did say, though, to Gino, she said, look, if you try on some of these things that she's asking for, it may help her. I love this. This was a great way to phrase this when she said, what if you try to do some of the things to make her happy so it helps her bring her best self forward?
Yes. And then she said, and you know what?
That was a great way to say that.
Have a good time. When you have disagreements, you can tolerate them better. What a great suggestion.
If you're always being like, we've got to work on the problem, we got on the
talking about your relationship.
Let that breathe.
Or like Mike and Natalie, go work on our problems.
Gotta work on problems. But we don't know what the problems are. Butter.
A sissy saw him at a game and said he smelled amazing. And I said, what brand of butter? She didn't say he smelled like butter at all.
Land O'Lakes.
Spread and spread cream. Just one taste and you know what she means.
By Menon.
Y'all, we're going to take a little pause and talk a little bit about Lip. Let's talk about Lip.
Love in Paradise finale.
We meant to do this at the first and we forgot.
Yeah, we did.
So we're just going to
get to my thing.
We're not gonna talk long about this because honestly, not a lot happened.
Yeah.
But this is when we were on vacation.
Because 2 shows ended.
2 shows ended.
We could not have chosen. I still can't believe they aired 2 finales
on the week of July 4th.
On the week of July 4th.
Yeah. Go figure. Not our fault. They'll probably air something on Christmas when we're off again.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe because Bravo didn't air content Monday or Tuesday.
No.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cow patting. Oh, God. Oh, God, I had a baby. Oh, God, that's a baby. Wilson. God, what do I do? What a shit. Can't fuck anybody. Oh, God.
I'm really not gonna miss that.
Juan
that
Hanks might
impression.
come back. You never know.
No, there's no reason.
You
for
never
him to.
know. Never know.
So y'all, we're in. She is majorly preggo now, and this is 2 months later. And she said, "Well, you know what? He's gonna go on the cruise, and I have to trust him because I don't have a choice." And she's like, "Although I do have all his passwords."
All of them.
So it's interesting. We now know that Juan, up until a couple months ago, was still on the cruise ship.
Yes.
So either this is fraudacity, or Juan said, "Cow Patty, I'm sick of Wyoming and the cow shit smell. I need to get back to the cool ocean breeze and being knee deep in pussy."
Or I need to make money.
Exactly.
Because remember, y'all, that whole plot line of the apartments has completely dropped away.
Yeah. And also the idea that she doesn't, because once he comes to the U.S., he can't work.
He can't work.
So it's going to be on one. I think she said she was some kind of marriage and family therapist. I think she was or counselor at least. So 3 kids on that income and on one income.
She's not making a lot, especially where she lives. She's maybe making $60,000 a year, maybe.
And I promise you, I am certain once he's over there, custody agreement from the first husband's going to change. Not custody, but definitely alimony.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
They're not married anymore. And he's got someone. Doesn't matter if he can't work. I guarantee you, if I was that man, I would not be paying while another man was living with my wife, my ex-wife.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have children.
I'm saying that now. Juan needs to work every fucking cruise he can. Because a new baby is cha-ching.
It's expensive. And he still has to finish those apartments.
Yeah. Crap.
So she's meeting him because she's going to go with him on like the last boat trip that she can go on. No, it's not like the boat trip with Cuba Gooding Jr.
This is, you think I was bringing sand to the beach when I took the guy I was seeing to Colombia? This is worse. You're taking your baby mama when there's just eligible women everywhere. And you know she's sitting at the bar every waking minute.
Just
saying, "Hey, we're together."
Yeah, he made no money on that trip. Well, actually looks like he took a lot of vacation because it shows him in the pool and they're kissing and all this. I think all you really know that I thought is that they go to the sonogram.
Yeah.
It's shocker. It's a boy. I thought it was going to be a girl.
Did you hear him say all this with there's some potential problems on the line that I haven't talked about yet? They were never addressed. I don't know. Who knows?
They find out it's a boy. She's a boy mom. And then...
hashtag boy mom forever. You know how I feel about that.
And then... although...
who wants to be a girl mom?
With those 3 boys, though, she's got a good chance that one's gay.
That's true.
Help her out when he gets older.
It's Dawson. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
The youngest, the baby's named David.
It is David. They kept the D theme. David. That's all I really have for them.
But we see the baby's genitals, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
April and Valentine. I'm gonna say this. The funniest thing is when he came in after he's like, "Bitch, I already broke up with you."
He's like, "Why am I here? What the fuck?"
That was my favorite thing. He's like,
pretty...
"Say what you need to say," because I kind of thought I broke up with you.
Yeah, I thought we were done. Let's just get down to business.
But I think she's trying to say, "No, I don't think we should see anymore." He's like, "Great."
I think if he would have said, "I'm sorry," she would have gotten back together.
100%.
100%.
I think their storyline, I think this woman is a joke.
Oh, yeah. She just wanted us to say, I broke up with you.
Yes.
To show face. This whole thing of you didn't prioritize me. All this bullshit.
I don't understand why this was completely for the cameras. It wasn't even for him to say these things to him.
It was 100% before. As I wrote, she needs to break up, but he already did.
And then she's like, they were going to the airport. I'm almost 40 and I had to start over again. Oh, I'm a doctor.
Y'all will never see her again.
Bye. I'm glad.
Bye, April. Bye.
Ugh. I wrote down, bitch, he's already banging another rich lady. He's already 8 inches deep.
He's 8.5. 8.5.
Valentine's going to be fine. And while April's been hanging out with Escott. Have you seen that on social media?
No.
He's been hanging out with Escott.
Who we're about to talk about?
Yes. Who is the thirstiest of all Thundercat human hybrids.
He is. Do you want to talk about them next or them last?
Do you know what Robin from Bloody Day says?
What?
He has all of the facial features of Ron Perlman from
yes.
Beauty and the Beast without any of the good parts.
Without any of the good parts. That is exactly. That is very well said. That is true.
Oh, Scott. So Liz has decided to flee.
She out, y'all.
He's got these awful wraparound sunglasses on that I want to slap off as soon as I see them. Do you ever have that impulse when someone's wearing something like sunglasses that you just want to slap off of them?
Yeah. But I don't.
Neither
I don't
do
really. I just said that to
Neither do
make
I.
you feel better. I don't ever want to slap things off of people.
I have impulse control.
No shit. We got the memo.
Anyway, y'all, he's doing a sob story of, I've been in the Dominican Republic a week, and I've already broken Lydia's heart, and now I've had my heart broken.
Whoa.
And I wrote down, why does everything of this season feel like it's a simulation for you? And you're kind of going
That's
through
a great
everything.
word, simulation.
It feels like he's in The Sims, and everything is him trying to experience life, but we don't like him enough to actually fight for him or to think anything.
Yeah.
That was the problem this whole season for me. I didn't like any of these people enough to actually give a fuck what happened to any of them. April, are you kidding me? Scott, pass. Cow Patty, nope. I liked Juan.
I liked Juan.
Everson and Jordan? Are you fucking kidding me?
I like Valentine.
I wound up liking him the most of this whole season.
I did too.
But in the same way.
Not because I wanted him to bone me, but because I liked him.
That's part of it.
It is part of it.
Anyway, y'all, Scott is, of course, wanting to go back to Lydia and talk because production makes him.
Ding, ding. Wait, here's the normally I would say production makes him. In this case, I almost would think it could be his idea.
Possibly. I can see it.
He seems that delusional.
And he's like, I want to start over with you, Lydia. And she's like, oh. And he's like, but don't get me wrong. I want to be like I want to be friends again. And she's like, okay, I see, Scott. She proceeds to systematically destroy him like the best lawyer you've ever seen.
In another language that he doesn't understand.
And an interpreter has to say it.
I mean, first of all, she doesn't know. She finds out that April was there.
Yeah.
And
Tú es una narcisista.
Yeah, una narcisista. She was like, what?
Or una narcisista.
Or not April. Liz went home.
Yeah.
So already, she...
You don't deserve my friendship. I will rise above all this. Oh, she, like, he is, his face is blistered from talking to her. And I loved every minute of it.
Then she stands up and walks away, and Scott goes, what? And the translator said, it's kind of clear she's done.
and then she says, let's go. And Scott's like, do we want to go? She's like, let's go. And the translator's like, no, he didn't mean you. She didn't mean you.
Done.
No, let's go.
You're off the show.
She's like, oh, I thought she meant, no, he didn't mean you. You stay there.
I'm afraid we're going to
go
see
with
him again.
I think so, too.
He's got, people are going to talk about him.
What about him? Is it men? Is it men who would like that guy?
Possibly, yeah. Men love Big Ed.
It's like that Big Ed mystery.
I
lack the gene to understand.
Well, Big Ed, they like Big Ed because it makes them feel superior. Makes them feel like he's a laughing stock. So it makes them feel better about their own manhood, virility, all that good stuff.
But he's disgusting.
I know, because they're like, well, I'm not that bad, honey. Look, I could be that guy. And they all, it's so funny. A lot of the straight guys
are weird.
The straight, not sissies, but like straight men that are, not straight sissies, but straight men that I've talked to that aren't necessarily like in the squad and stuff, like sissy squad and
People
all that.
I don't want to know.
They always talk about his neck with Big Ed and his physical appearance. So I bet with that Scott, it's again, they're like, well, I don't look like Thundercat.
Yeah.
Here's this big, roided up guy. I don't look like that. I feel better about myself.
And he's got such a
I'm not that desperate.
Scott has such a punchable face.
It's the emotional desperation that a straight man who likes to feel better about themselves says, I'm not that.
That's quite sad.
I'm not talking about straight sissies. Y'all are much more refined.
I
man.
agree.
I agree.
There's so few straight men I want to know.
And
the
so
ones
many
I do,
you want to fuck.
And the ones I do want to know, I only want to have sex with.
Oh, you want to have sex with a lot of straight men you
lot
don't
of
want to
them.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Y'all,
truth.
it ends with Lydia, as we talked to her. Not only does she walk into the sea, she lays the fuck down.
Doing some type of kind of expiation ritual of burying Scott's love in the ocean, and I was like, this could not be a better audition for The Single Life.
It's wonderful.
And I want it. I want it. I know it's what I want.
What I want? Well, let's talk about Cake Woman in Everton.
This was nothing. And I wrote down, and I really agree. Was this ever real?
I'm glad we did a small recap like this because we couldn't do the whole thing.
Was it a business arrangement? Did they just stop being together? And was it always a business arrangement?
It was fraudacity.
I think it was.
I think it was a lot of recreation.
The woman's call?
I think they were in a relationship before. And they haven't been for a long time.
I think this is the fakest thing I've ever seen on
they're
the show.
just on, yep. She'll be on Single Life, too. Because she sits on cakes and stuff like that. And she's
one of my
interesting to
favorite
people.
things is you thought she was in the screen by herself, and she's like, I'm leaving Jamaica, single woman, and it kind of feels good. It kind of feels good. And it cuts to him, and he goes, well, it doesn't feel good for me.
She said it in the same breath.
He's right there.
Right there. Don't talk about me like I'm not here.
She's like, that's because you were like dating the whole time. He's like, well, that's true.
That's true.
And he even says, I'm not going to give up on Jordan. I was like, okay.
I think you should.
Anyway, y'all.
That's all I got.
It was quite a lackluster season. The gays didn't deliver. No. Cow Patty wound up flaming out, really flaming Patty.
Yeah.
Cow Patty and one flamed out. The others, Jordan and Scott and Lydia, really never made an impact.
No.
And Jordan and Everton really never got there. April and Valentine were a joke.
Yeah.
I think this is
It's
a
so
real
sad.
falter.
You know, I mean, I've gone on record to say seasons 1 and 2 were my favorite.
And you were wrong.
And
After
I was
all
wrong
that.
this season. Wow. Thanks for making it about me and my failing.
Did I say that? I just said you were wrong. I didn't say you were an abject failure.
Why do you still have tape on your entertainment system from when you moved here 3 years ago?
Violet and Riley.
Wow. I just noticed that.
So the drawer won't come out when I
I'm
move
going to have
it.
to open that Sonos speaker, too. You're never going to set it up.
Stop nagging me.
All right. Riolet. I didn't write much because not much happened. Do you think we're going to get a lot more with them, or do you think they're going to flame out?
Well, next week it shows. I don't think they're filming together. I think he might apologize to her. I'd be surprised if she took him back after this. For a couple of reasons. I wrote down, we're mid ambush here, and that's what Mary Payne and I called it.
It was really terrible. That at this nice dinner, they have this night. Finally, what he's been saying, I just want time with her, and he uses his time with her to fucking get his friend Tiffany to do the dirty work.
Well, and this is the
What a
thing.
shitty
He's like,
person.
I don't know. I'm not involved here. You should answer her question. so you didn't want to talk to her, or even if you did not say so, I want you to ask her about this. You knew she would.
Yeah.
And and Violet calls it an interrogation, and that's exactly what it was.
It was.
I will say this. If you love someone, you don't do this to someone.
No, I agree.
This is, you handle this yourself.
I agree.
And you don't let someone who Violet has no connection with.
Never even met.
Yeah. This is humiliating for someone.
It was a bit of like, although he wasn't, I don't think he knew so much it was going to happen. It was like David and Annie when his daughter,
Yeah.
like interrogated
what a piece
Annie.
of work.
That was different though, because David, like, at least he acted like he didn't expect for her to do that.
Oh, that's different.
So yeah, that's what'll make the difference. Riley knew exactly what was going to happen when he answered the phone with
And
Tiffany.
he did not even try to run interference.
No.
Said, talk to her.
Like
And-
David was trying to stop
and
his, not Riley, nope.
And what's interesting is I'm like,
Holding the gun for the firing squad.
thank you.
He was.
How is Violet at all accountable to this woman who's not even related to him? Do you remember what he said before when she said, "What if your family doesn't like me?" And he's like, "Well, we're married. They have to."
Yeah.
He said that. And now he's saying, so you are now accountable to this woman who is like my sister.
Yeah.
And you have
She's
to answer her
family to me.
questions.
Doesn't go good. She's asking about the dating page thing.
I want to say this. It doesn't matter to me whether Violet deleted the app. I don't think Violet thinks that. I think Violet, like all good business people, has a backup plan.
Well, how many times have her and Riley broke up and on and off?
Exactly. And to say this, and this is what I was talking about by, like I said, Riley's the only one who has feelings in the world. Riley's feelings matter more.
Yeah.
And because, y'all, this is someone, and I was easier on him last week. I'm back on the train of where I'm just like,
I just want to say this. I don't think either party in this relationship is innocent. I don't necessarily he's really gross. I don't think she's an angel.
She's not forthcoming.
And she's not forthcoming. And I don't honestly know if either of them love one another.
I think what she saw this trip to be, because I don't think they communicated about this.
I think I know
what
what you're going to say.
he saw this to be as, I'm going to propose at the end of this trip if I find out. She said, this is a person who's going to come see me, and I'm going to see if we click. If not, that happens too.
I think she felt
This was a try. What this was for him, he was coming to sign the lease on the car that makes her sound like a car.
Mm-hmm.
She's still test driving. This was the first test drive.
Are you getting a new car right now or something?
No, I'm thinking about test driving. I was trying to think about a way to say that with dick. But, yeah.
You're always looking for new dick.
Window shopping. Yeah, just driving by lots.
I wish they had a car. I used a car broker. I wish they had a dick broker. Oh wait, they do. It's a pimp.
I was gonna say,
actually,
yeah.
That doesn't work out well.
But I just find, and Violet tries to say, I deleted this app, but then I forgot the password. And Tiffany's like, no, I don't care. And then this is what one thing I say. So he's getting on her back for her family. She's like, so your family can ask me hard questions, and I went, oh, this is revenge.
Yeah, it's revenge.
Because that's what you do with someone you love.
Yeah.
What's good for the goose is good for the
he
gander.
tries to say it's a two-way street.
Fuck you.
Because they had,
These two people don't love each other.
I still don't.
It's not love.
I didn't feel sorry for him last week, too, honestly.
I did more because of how she talked to him.
But she always talks to him like that.
Yeah.
She says at the end of a phone call, I hate you. Like that, they flip each other off.
Yeah, it's true.
He doesn't say, I love you. So I got to say, I don't feel like, I just thought he got upset. I'm going to talk about this because we had a lot of sissies, Vietnamese sissies, that have messaged us about this.
Even one today.
He called last week. He called foul on her for not understanding culture as a black man and being talked to like that. I'll be honest. He has a point in what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't really think. I know I'm speaking out of place because I'm not a black man, but at the same time, I'm like, but you talk to each other shittily. That's part of your relationship.
Yeah.
So it just feels like you want her to understand something. You haven't given insight into.
Yeah, and you don't really care how she feels. You're always sharing your very important feelings.
Yes. So now, on the flip side of that, you are not taking any liberty to understand Vietnamese culture.
None.
The bluntness of the culture. Like so many sissies say, Vietnamese, they said that you would see them and go, oh, we'll use this to cover up your belly.
Yeah.
She's like, that is just the way the culture speaks and talks.
Yeah.
And the fact that they talked about that, whether it's her fault or his, the fact that he didn't show up with a present is a huge
deal.
Huge deal. And he probably would never be forgiven for that.
Right. And we've had some people say the fact that she would show up with a man who wouldn't bring a present would be talk.
Community talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So which makes me feel like I think they might be dunzo, especially her.
I hope so. I find this guy wants a tiny, submissive Asian wife, and he didn't. He thinks he wants the sparring back and forth, but he really doesn't.
Yeah, I don't even know if he really wants a wife. I think he's always going to sabotage whatever.
I think he hates women too.
Yeah,
I just have that feeling. It just everything about women and just trying to give it back to women.
Again, he and Nicola. They'd be joining that meeting.
That men's rights conference. She leaves, by the way, and she's like, "You're a psycho. You're a child."
He's like, "Bye, bye, bye."
Beat it. If someone ever screams "beat it" at me, and we are not in a musical about gangsters, you better be ready. Cover your face, because I'm going to try to throw something in your eye. Okay,
we're going to move on.
And hopefully,
Speaking
it's
of
sharp.
Wonderful men. Let's talk about Meisha and Nico, shall we?
Nicola.
Well, she calls him Nico too.
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
So they had a good time last night. They were dancing. They had a good time.
Post debauchery.
Yes. Post uno cigarette. I haven't listened to that episode, but I bet Mary Payne had a lot of opinions about him one cigarette at New Year's Eve.
I mean, come on. It's one fucking cigarette. Meisha, that needs to stop.
This is
a good
the
time.
deal. I mean, I guess if you're extreme Catholicism, but that's the kind of beauty of being a Catholic is that you can drink.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, you can smoke. You can. None of these things are considered sin.
This is a kind of asceticism that is basically doing all these things so you'll be better than other people. That you can feel superior to other people.
Yes.
That's the way. That's who he is.
Yeah, again, yeah.
Which is
So he
disgusting.
can feel nothing, just feel superior. Normally we have a drink and we're getting drunk. We used to have pizza and beer parties with Father Hanrahan after Mass
Did
with
you
the Knights
smoke?
of Columbus. No, I didn't smoke, but I'd have a sip. But my mom let me have a sip of beer. But I had pizza and then we just
Sing to the mountains, sing to the sea. Raise your voices, lift your heart.
How many songs were there?
Let all the earth rejoice.
There can only be like 20, right?
There's a lot. That was my favorite one. They'd play when we'd leave. That meant it was going to be a good week. I would sing to the mountains came on. I was like, it's going to be a good week, Mama. Jesus loves me.
And now you don't believe in anything.
No, I do. My mother doesn't.
That's true. So y'all, he's showing her where in the Catholic village. Here's the Sea of Galilee, Meisha, where the Lord walked on water. I wrote down, I feel like this relationship's always going to be a threesome. And not the good kind.
Not the good kind.
It's just him, Jesus, and Meisha.
There you
And
go.
Jesus is withholding.
But also, y'all, the mansplaining. She knows what the Sea of Galilee. She knows all this. She's read the fucking Bible. She talks about all, but he keeps explaining like he's a fucking. It's not. No, actually, it's not in a tour guide way. It's a way of talking to her like she's some idiot.
Like a child, yeah.
Ugh.
They're meeting his friend Wasim, and he's like, Meisha, put down that cat. My friend's going to think you're weird.
I do agree with him that it's like, look, put down the random cat and meet and show up and meet his friend.
That might have mange.
Just meet his. It was a very cute kitten.
I agree.
But put down the cat.
My mother was terrified that a random animal that I would pet might have mange. Have the mange.
Jaybird, get away from the Father Poodle. I'm getting a leash next time. Jaybird's trying to pet a raccoon.
As my mother said, well, you know what? You were on a leash because I loved you.
Wow.
Didn't want anything to happen to you.
What was it like? How old were you when you were wearing, like, what ages?
When my brother was basically, as she calls, she had him. She had him on her chest, and I was on the leash.
So you were like 2?
Yeah.
So you don't remember standing there, have to get into a leash?
I do not remember. I was like 2, 2.5, maybe 3.
I bet you were like an excited dog when you're telling your dog that you're going on a walk and they're too excited and you can't get them in the leash.
Oh, it was a lot. Yeah.
You might even be the same way now with your daddy.
I know. He puts me in a leash too.
Stop moving, Jaybird.
Daddy! Am I going to get a spanking later? Anyway, this is when he starts just like, oh, and Wasim's wife comes in.
She's
her
so
name?
pretty. May.
Gorgeous.
May.
And he's like, well, we've been doing lots of fun things, and she's like, she's like, yes, I've shown her many wonderful things.
Many wonderful things.
And
But her
guess
room
what?
looks like a forest.
She's a mess.
She's just a dirty mess.
And she's like, what the fuck is your problem? And at one point, Wasim says, is he different on the telephone? And she's like, well, we're just trying to figure it out. And Nicola's like, well, she's crazy about can you believe she wants to tell my mom and my brother about us? I mean, we've only been dating for 7 years.
And Wasim tries to say, well, with your family, and Nicola looks at him and says, leave my family alone.
And
He's
says,
such a deflector.
I don't think this is his real friend. I think this is an extended friend. I don't think Nicola has.
I don't think
real
he has a
friends.
lot of friends because he's. I think because he's again not a human.
Yeah. You keep saying that. Can you elaborate? What does that mean to you? I'm just curious.
I don't think he cares about having deep relationships or connected relationships with anyone.
Okay.
I think he wants to talk at people. He doesn't want to talk with people.
He has no vulnerability. What you're saying?
Vulnerability, which to me that is humanness, and
not all people believe that way.
well, they're wrong, and
I'm not saying
I am.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that is.
But he's this religious robot again that. It's pushing down all these feelings he doesn't want to feel. He wants to feel nothing. So he's this robot of going through the motions of, we've talked about this a lot of times in people like a Mormon faith or something like that, whereas like the musical.
Book of Mormon?
And the song that they sing. What's that song called? Shut it off, put it down, stick it in.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Well, my thing is, it's not as much... I think it is with... I'm trying to see it from a perspective of a religious person. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's definitely a human being because he loves God so much. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to see this is, I think his limited emotional intelligence is tweaked whenever she says something, and he says, but let's give it to religion. So in a way, he doesn't want to be human. He wants to be more like God. Mm-hmm. And being human is worldly. Yeah. So I think in a way, he might agree with you.
Yeah.
In this. And so
it is very I don't want to deal with it. I don't give it to God. Give it to God.
Right. And he even says, well,
God is going, bitch, I'm tired.
I'm a bottom who's been taking it
He's
all
like,
night long.
I've been dealing with some we got a lot of floods everywhere. I'm dealing with some bullshit. Figure it out, Nico.
Ukraine is knocking on my door every hour.
Dude, I'm busy.
And the thing about they're trying to later on, they're trying to talk, and she's like, you just really haven't experienced having a woman around you, and I just ask that you listen to me. And then and your response is always, oh, you didn't. And he kind of laughs.
Yeah.
And he laughs at her like just with scorn. And
Can I
he thinks
just say,
it's funny.
I'm sorry. She's so kind.
Yeah,
to
really
him,
is.
the way she speaks to him, and
Yep.
so thoughtful, and so trying to understand where he comes from.
Yep.
Girl, run from this piece of shit.
You're working too hard.
You're working too hard.
And he's giving her nothing.
God is showing you the signs.
I saw two suns when I was vacuuming my house.
Oh, God.
Vacuuming my living room. And then at one point he says, she's like, anybody can be my fucking tour guide. And he's like, well, what do you want, Meisha? Do you want hugs? And
He tries to she's like, no. Then she cries. And that's when he says, I don't know why you're crying.
because he can't tolerate it.
And I wrote he can't tolerate that. But I also wrote too, I think he hates women too.
Yeah.
And which you've already alluded to because he and Riley are going to go to
Yeah,
the
they're going to go to the
conference.
men's rights conference.
Yeah.
And anyway, and that's when he makes his comparison to Jesus on the cross, who took all the persecution and absorbed it. And then she says, I can't ever tell you how I feel because you blame me. As soon as I tell you that, you blame me for all, and then you basically try to crucify me for everything you don't like.
Yes.
So in other words, when it's interesting when she says, I feel this way, the only thing he takes it so personally
Oh, yeah.
because he actually can't tolerate any emotion.
Yeah.
So when you have no emotional intelligence, you cannot tolerate anyone telling you how they feel because it feels personal. And so he basically just flips on her and tells her all the things he doesn't like that she does.
He attacks her.
Ugh.
So this is love.
And she looks at the camera and is crying. She's like, I don't know how I could have been so wrong. Y'all.
Been there, Meisha.
Here's the thing. Dogmatism, being dogmatic about anything is never good.
No, it's never, ever good.
It's going to lead you into bad situations with bad men or bad women. Mm-hmm. And it's going to, and you'll look down a long, dark hallway that you've come and say, how did I get here? And it's through extremism of any type.
Yeah.
It's not going to take you anyplace good. That's the show.
Is the movie Dogma about dogma at least?
It's not.
What?
It's Kevin Smith.
So Babel's about not Babel and Dogma is not about dogma?
It's been a long time since I've seen that. I think Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were in that.
I've never seen a Kevin Smith movie.
Of course you haven't. You never even seen Clerks? Chasing Amy?
I've never seen those movies. Ray and Willingham loved all of them, but so I felt like I'd have to go over there and watch girl movies and then people make fun of me.
Because you'd never seen The Bodyguard 3 times?
That's the show. Everybody, that's the show.
I'm interested to know what's a girl movie and what's not.
I don't know.
So Kevin Smith movies are girl?
They're not at all.
No,
but
they're made for dudes.
Yeah, but I had preconceived notions.
Boy,
It was
say
like
that
that-
again. I'd like to record that and play that back.
You know, I just need love.
Yeah, I need a lot of things.
Y'all, that's the show. It's good to be back. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We're starting off the week. We're jumping right in. You're going to get UK. You're going to get Toe. And jump on that $8 tier and you can get the second episode of Love During Lockup.
I think people are going to get 5 free episodes this week.
A lot. And if you want these episodes.
Yeah, no, UK, there's more than that.
In
It's
UK.
like 6. That's
Nope,
incredible.
this is the week after that.
Oh, no.
They already aired, yeah. But still, if you want all these episodes commercial free for what, Poodle?
Your pleasure.
Then you can jump on the $8 tier. The whole enchilada tier on RG Plus and the $15 tier are ad-free versions. $5 tier is not, but that does give you the binges and all that good stuff. So, and any tier allows you to vote on the Bi Curious. And if you haven't voted on the Bi Curious yet, be sure to go on Patreon and Supercast.
You've got about a day.
Yeah. So let us know. All right, everybody. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yes. And remember, when you compare yourself to Jesus Christ and you're suffering, just make sure to call out. And when you're up on the Mount Calvary and you look and say, I can see your house from here. And you can call us. That's a terrible crucifixion joke.